have a very interesting email here. It says, "Hi Niall, I have a real problem and I would love if you could discuss it on the show. My daughter is 20 years of age and studying college in Limerick, and I'll be honest, things are tough financially for us. We don't get the grant but struggle to pay her rent and her fees, but we manage. She was home last weekend for the bank holiday, and which would have been, was that last weekend or the weekend before? I can't remember anyway. And we were chatting, and she told me she had signed up to a site called OnlyFans. I had no idea what she was actually talking about and still really don't understand it. But she said two of the girls in college were making money on the site. And I was intrigued when she told me it involved sex and taking your clothes off. She told me there was no stigma around it anymore and girls are embracing this technology to make money from men who are willing to pay. She wasn't happy when I told her it sounded like prostitution and no daughter of mine will resort to sex work for money. That's what I said to her anyway. She was really upset. She was raised well and I've no idea how her morals have fallen through the floor. I spoke to her father about it after she left on Monday and he was sick with the thought of his baby girl doing something like this. He called her and there was a huge row over the phone with all three of us. And we haven't spoken since, after he told her no daughter of mine would do this for men, and he wants nothing to do with her if that's the direction of her life. How can I resolve this for everybody without losing my daughter to this madness? I'll remortgage if she needs the money, but she seems lost in this idea. And she says, and I'm quoting her, it empowers her. In her words, not mine. Please help us. All right, let us know what you think. The number's 085 100 22 55. What do you think? Is it empowering? Now, I've spoken to, many women. Primarily, it's women who are on OnlyFans. If you don't know what OnlyFans is, by the way, it's an app you get on your phone. And basically, they're live cams, so to speak, or that kind of thing, where women, perform, create videos, usually on their own, taking their clothes off, etc., for the titillation of mainly men, I imagine, is the audience, although some women look at it too. And many of the women around the world we've spoken to are making a substantial amount of money out of it. A lot are making a good living out of it. And then there are those who are making nothing out of it. And if I went on it tomorrow, I'm pretty sure they'd pay me to put my clothes back on again. But in saying that, it is a way of people making money. You could argue, go back to the kind of abortion debate, my body, my choice, and women will say it's empowering. And look, I've no argument with them. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But they got to look at their reputation and their credibility. Because I suppose we all have morals. Everybody has different morals. There's no law says there are certain morals you have to have. By the way, there's nothing illegal about it, can I point out as well? Although some people compare it to prostitution or sex work. But it is sex work. But not prostitution because you're not actually meeting the clients. Clients are paying you to take your clothes off. They subscribe to you monthly to take your clothes off. Or to get maybe, exclusive pictures or whatever they may request. But what would you do if that was your daughter? Would you say, fair play to you, well done, pat her on the back and say, off you go, do what you want, it's your life? Or would you discourage her and tell her, morally, I believe this is wrong and I'm going to disown you? Let me know what you think. The number is 085 100 22 55. Let me go to Samaria, who we've spoken to in the past, and Samaria is a creator on OnlyFans. Samaria, hi, how are you?
Hey Niall, how's things?
Lovely to talk to you again, Samaria. Hope things are going well.
Good to be back.
Still making money?
Oh, of course I am.
Okay, because I thought sometimes with OnlyFans is a kind of novelty factor where, when you get into something first, you make a heap of money and then things start to stabilize, it starts going back down again unless you get more creative, I suppose. So I suppose you have to keep working hard at it to keep making money.
It kind of like it's all about life, I suppose. Like personally myself had a few things going on in the past couple of months that were against. I couldn't post a lot.
Okay.
And of course it does affect.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
Your income.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, massively. But that couldn't be helped. But that is the joys of it. And like you were saying there, this girl is in college. To be quite frank, it's the average earner actually on OnlyFans earns only from maybe $150 to maybe $180, to $250 a month.
So if I started up, not me personally, because obviously I'll be asked to put my clothes back on for money, but if I started up tomorrow as a woman, and if I'm a good looking woman, and I'm pretty good at it, and I do all the kind of burlesque stuff, and I take all my clothes off, realistically, unless I'm really good at social media, I'm not going to make much money on it.
Yeah, you have to kind of have a social media following, to be fair, from the get-go, and actually have before you even do it. And that's what I did. That's what I had. Hence why I was able to go on and do so well. But if you don't have, you're building it literally from scratch. For those
who don't know, just give us your backstory again. So at the time when you start, how long ago again did you start this?
2022. January 2022 is when I started.
Okay.
And I'm currently still doing it. Have I moved a little bit away from it? Yeah, I'm kind of just taking my ease with it, that kind of a thing. I've done what I needed to do. Do you get me?
Okay. Did you make a lot of money in those 4 years?
Yeah, I did. I
Okay.
did. Like, as I said, look, I'm still doing it, but I'm not as active. Do you know that
Okay.
kind of a thing?
Yeah. But you're still doing enough to make an income every month.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, I'm very comfortable.
And where would you be placed as far as Irish OnlyFans girls? And I don't know how many OnlyFans girls there are in Ireland, but where would you be placed? Are you up there in the top 10 somewhere, or top 20, or?
I think, like, well, from what I kind of know, I'd say there maybe around 10 or less of us that do very well on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so like in the top 2-3%, 1%.
So this is something girls need to know. It's like when young lads are 15 years of age and they say, I want to play for Man United, and they want to play football. There is only 1 in thousands who will actually make it to the point where they make a living out of playing football. The same with singers, the same with everything else. The same goes for OnlyFans, I imagine. No matter how good looking you are and how well your body looks and how great you happen to be at, playing with toys or whatever it is you do on OnlyFans, there's only a certain amount of people by luck or by skill and by social media will make it to that point where they make a living out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, everything changes, like everything, like, even for argument's sake, football. I can't believe I'm actually putting it up against football, but anyway, but like football, for argument's sake, like you could need someone different every year that's better at something else,
Yeah.
Things change, and it's just the way of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think things like Bonnie Blue now has done the business an awful lot of favours in the last year. I know some people...
She's a lot of rage bait. That's what that is. It's rage bait. I wouldn't believe everything that she says happened at all.
No, I think a lot of it's done for publicity. Well, she says a lot of things for publicity. And then she seems to backtrack, and then she starts breaking down crying, and then all of a sudden she's announcing she's going to do something even more bizarre. So it's kind of hard to follow what's going on with that poor woman. Anyway, but I do believe that what that does is it draws attention to the business, of OnlyFans in a negative light, not so much as a positive light.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. And don't paint us all with the same brush.
No, not at all.
It's like aiming it back to soccer again. Listen, just because someone's a very, very good striker doesn't mean that they're going to score all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So what advice would you give to a mother? Like, I don't know if you have any kids, Samara, I think you have got children.
I do.
But if your daughter came to you at 20 years of age and said, Mom, I need a bit of extra money, and maybe you weren't, flush with money, you didn't have the money to give her, but you weren't getting a grant, and she needed it for digs, and she needed to have a good time, and she needed to go on holidays, and she said, my mates are on OnlyFans, and they're making a bit of money out of it. I'm thinking of going on and making a few quid out of it. What would you say to her?
Say to the mother or to the girl?
As a mother, what would you say to your daughter if she said that to you?
Personally, I'd be like, look, we're going to sit down, we're going to go over all the pros, all the cons. We're going to go through them all, and at the end of the day, whatever decision you make is your own decision at the end of the day. But this is what can and more than likely will happen, and if it doesn't, you're lucky.
Mm-hmm. So,
but
you chose a stage name. You chose a stage name of Samaria, and the reason initially, I imagine you did that was to protect your identity where you live.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
No, that didn't work out too, because you're all over the papers and everything now. So that was there to protect your identity. So it didn't kind of work out, and it doesn't really work out because eventually somebody's going to realize who you are. You know what I mean? And write something on social media. It's a small world now. Social media brings us all together. So,
and especially in college, like it'll go around like wildfire. There's no need to say that like, oh, it would never happen. It would. It could even be something as small as a little tattoo or a little even freckle that gets noticed.
Yeah.
And you're out there, and that's it, done and dusted. And then you have to go on if you're making money. If you're not, you're kind of screwed. If you are making a few bob off it, you can pay. There is I have a crowd that I'm with, and they take everything down off certain websites and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it is costly. That is costly. You have to be able to be making the money to pay for that. And it's such a full-time job that like you have to do social media every day. Doing that on top of college, better off, to be honest, better off just getting a part-time weekend job.
Yeah, there was a thing going back a few years ago. Do you remember the sugar babies? That was a kind of thing going for college students to do. That's been taken over now by the OnlyFans thing. And I suppose what you're pointing out to me there, the negatives are your credibility, your reputation. Because no matter, and I'm not suggesting, by the way, that you have a bad reputation or bad credibility, but unfortunately, we have to look at the way the world looks at these things. And the world looks at these things, or many people in the world look at these things with a lack of credibility. And they say, people of low value, low moral value, That's what they say. And unfortunately, that sticks to you, doesn't it?
It does. I think especially in Ireland, I wouldn't even say worldwide. And yeah, okay, maybe a few places, but Ireland is very kind of, even compared to the UK, I suppose, when it comes to this, is very like closed-minded when it comes to it. I suppose because that's where it goes back to, I suppose, being a very Catholic country. But it is very closed-minded when it comes to these things.
And why do you think that is? You believe that's because of the kind of Catholic handcuffs we had from many years ago, where we were all told that we were all told nobody, should take your clothes off. Which my parents had. I remember my mum before she died. The day before she died, we had a great chat about everything and about life in general when she was in her hospital bed, and she was telling me that my father had never seen her naked. And I found that mind blowing. They were married for 60 years, and he never seen her naked. So she would go up, get undressed, get into her nightgown, get into bed, turn off the lights. And so he never actually saw her naked, which I found it just mind-blowing. So that's the kind of Ireland for many older people that we're still living in, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Yeah, to be fair, like when it comes to these things, and like even her mom and dad there, like I think disowning and not talking to her is kind of it is over the top. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do in life, no matter if you're a lawyer, no matter if you're a cleaner, no matter what job you do, no matter what you do to make money, you're still the same person at the end of the day. It doesn't change your personality, like I'm very lucky. I'm lucky, like I have my whole family around me, and like they would never think of disowning me because I'm still the same person. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't change who I am.
And does your parents, by the way, if they're both still with us, do they know what you do and do they approve?
Yeah, well, we don't talk about it.
Okay, that's probably the best way out. Just let's speak about it. Yeah. Okay.
My aunties give a few little cracks of jokes, all right, every now and then. Like if there's a family thing, and they'll be like, "Sure, get her to take photos. She's good with the lighting."
Oh, right, okay. Yes, some smart remarks every now and again. Yeah.
Yeah, I get a few little digs here and there, but like I don't bring it up unless it's brought up to me. Like my mother be extremely religious, like my mother is like, like no sex before marriage, like no divorce, very old Irish.
Okay, so she's kind of compartmentalized it in the back of her mind and doesn't want to think about it. That's fine.
Yeah, she just doesn't want to know, and that's fine too.
Okay, but in relation to reputational damage, what we have to remember nowadays is, unlike years ago, everything you do, particularly with this kind of business, is online forever. It's there forever. Like, we will know in 200 years' time, when your great-great-great-grandchildren are looking up stuff online, that their great-great-granny took her clothes off for money. So we'll know that because it's there forever. That's kind of scary for a young person, is it? Particularly if they're going into certain roles, like they want to be a barrister or something that's considered to be reputationally good.
You also have to think about in 10 years' time, there's going to be someone else new that like everyone's going to be flocking about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like people do get forgotten, and it's horrible to say. It is horrible, but you do get forgotten.
Well, hopefully not before you make a fair few quid out of it, I suppose.
Do you know what I mean? So,
is the next thing nearly coming along? I wouldn't be on top of all this, but is the next thing coming along? Because what I've noticed too, obviously, I'm sure you've seen the news that in the United Kingdom now they have put age verification on porn sites. It's only a matter of time before they do that in the south of Ireland as well, because it's already done in the north of Ireland. So only in the south of Ireland, it's only a matter of time. I think Commission Demand are saying that's going to happen very shortly. The United States, I think, will do the same thing. So there's going to be a huge clampdown on pornography to make it more difficult, to make it more accessible to people. Is that going to be a problem for you?
No, I firmly believe that like there should be no one under the age of 16 even on social media. I'm a firm believer of that, and that was before I even ever did anything. But like, it's just crazy the amount of social things that you can put on social media and find on social media. Not even just pornography, but there's even like kids there that are going out and they're doing other things and they're uploading it online. And it's not good. It's not healthy. Like their frontal lobes and stuff, they're not even developed yet. They don't have a clue what they're doing.
Do your kids know what you do?
Pardon?
Do your children know what you do?
My eldest one does.
Okay. And what was their reaction? Can I ask what age that your eldest one is?
She said that she partly guessed.
Okay. Oh, she partly guessed.
Yeah.
But
I think I was leaving off kind of hints here and there, just to kind of.
But when she walked into a bedroom in the house and there was cameras everywhere and lights everywhere and sex toys all over the place, you kind of they're up to something there.
All. So no, all that stuff is always put away. I have a suitcase, I have a lock, I have everything. My house is literally like a normal household.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like it's literally just family orientated. None of that kind of crack going around the place. Listen, I'd actually have more And a normal woman, she probably has stuff in her bedside locker. I don't. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
okay, yeah, I get what you mean. So how did she guess?
Yeah.
How did she partly guess? You say she partly guessed. How did she partly guess?
It was because I was leaving after little hints, you know.
Okay.
So she kind of guessed it was coming and everything like that. But like, she's grand. She's supportive, I suppose. Like, but I don't talk about it with her. There's no need to. I don't talk about it, and she doesn't talk about it. If she wanted to ask me something, she knows she can. Where, to be honest, we're very kind of just open anyway in the house. She tells me, like, well, I wouldn't say everything because she's 16 at the end of the day, but she tells me a lot, you know.
Does it worry you that as she gets a bit older, you know, in secondary school, that some of her mates might come over to her? I suppose it's a worry too for some OnlyFans creators who might have a son, you know, he'd be in secondary school and their mates coming over. Is that your man, the nude? You know what I mean? Look at her.
She's finished school nearly now. She's finished school this year, and there hasn't. Now, I don't know. Saying that is because she's kind of just a very strong-minded girl herself.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So like, but no one has. She hasn't had anything come at her or come. Yeah. So yeah, I think I've maybe been lucky in that kind of sense. Now, and like all of her friends' moms and stuff, and they know what I do and everything, and they're lovely. They're really, really nice.
Okay, so you haven't had a bad reaction from her friends' mothers or from other people, by the way. Do you ever get any dirty looks in the local village where you look down, oh, there's your woman, takes her clothes off?
No, not really. Maybe there was one time it was like a lad in his 20s, and I was kind of like in my own head, really, like of a man
loser.
in his 20s.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're a loser.
Like, I'd expect it from teenagers, but no.
But you know what? The lad in his 20s is probably the fella who looks at you the most, to be honest with you. He's probably on your subscription lot as well.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so like, yeah, no, to be fair, everything's quite calm, like, and I won't even, yeah, no, there's been absolutely nothing.
And what's the next thing now? Is OnlyFans still as big as it was? Is it still huge?
I see, it's not, it is and it isn't. It isn't because there's so many people trying it and doing it, that it's hard to, I suppose, for new people to even make an income on it. And then like it is old, and in the fact that, like, as I said, everyone's doing it, you know, and like it's not something that I would want my daughter doing either, and I will put that out there. But it is the disowning thing. I don't agree with that at all.
So what should these parents do you think?
Sit her down, have a proper conversation with her, like no shouting. Like it is quite hard, but people need to be calm in these situations, because if they're just going to end up arguing again, and she mightn't talk to them.
Right. Okay.
Do you know? Like at the end of the day, she is 21. She can do what she kind of really wants, to be honest. But if it was in the family household and they don't agree with that, then I do side with them on that. That it wouldn't be in the family household. Yeah,
if you're living under our roof, you play by our rules, in other words, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like just out of respect for them and everything. But like, I think just sit her down and have a chat with her, because I think you were saying maybe she knows other people who are doing it also.
Yeah, she said she has mates in college that are doing it, so I don't know how many mates.
Yeah, also another way of looking at it is maybe she should just go on to Feet Finder.
Go on to what?
And do the Feet Finder and set her feet.
Okay.
Do you know, like, no faces involved in that. It is quite difficult to get actually kind of buyers on it.
People have paid money to look at your feet.
Yeah. Literally just get a basin full of beans and you stomp on them.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you, that works.
I can't imagine paying to see somebody's feet, to be honest with you. That wouldn't be my first thought when it comes to sex.
Nice French tipped toenails there into a lovely basin of beans.
And what have you sold your feet? Have you put your feet up?
Yeah.
And how much would somebody pay to see your feet?
Oh, it depends. Like you have, I suppose it's kind of its own little genre, I suppose.
Is it?
Like, feet is a massive thing, like, that people are ashamed that they actually really, really like. Now, personally, I actually hate feet. I can't stand feet. I just don't like them. But yeah, you'd be amazed at how many people actually just like feet and hands.
Well, I know there's hand actors. They use them for jewelry and stuff like that as well. You know, you can get hand acting. But and the other thing then is, I hate to say this, I'm going to shock the audience now. I remember somebody came on the air there one time and they told me that a big thing in Asia, I don't know if it's big here, is used underwear. They're selling. There's actually sites where they sell used underwear, and the longer they've been worn, the more expensive they become.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
I do that as well.
Oh, you do that too? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was just big in Asia or somewhere like that. You know, that they were doing. Seemingly they had vending machines in Asia where you can buy at train stations vending machines used underwear. What did they do with the used underwear? What, give it a sniff or something?
Excuse the pun, but I have my finger in a few pies, so it's fine.
Stop out of that.
Don't forget to follow my Insta, guys. That's Maria Irish.
Okay, you can go, if you want to follow Samaria, by the way, you can go to her Instagram. What's your Instagram again, Samaria?
At Samaria Irish.
Oh, at Samaria Irish. And if you go to OnlyFans, is your name just Samaria on OnlyFans?
Yeah, it is, Samaria.
Okay. Well, look, best of luck, by the way, Samaria. Lovely talking to you again, by the way, and thanks for the advice that you've given to the parents.
Of course, always a pleasure, Niall.
Okay, thank you. There you go. There's Samaria, by the way, a very successful Irish OnlyFans girl. Let me go to Maureen. Maureen, hi, how are you?
Hi, Niall. How are you keeping?
I'm good. Well, Maureen, I'm delighted for anybody who can make a living out of, doing something like that.
Doing something like that. That's exactly the term for it. I find it totally and utterly disgusting.
Why?
I find it disgusting that women are taking their clothes off just to make money. In my eyes, they are no better than the prostitute on a corner touting for money.
Oh, okay.
Prostitution online. That's my opinion.
By definition, you are selling your body. Now, there's no obviously engagement involved. You don't actually have sex with men. You can have sex with people behind the camera, but you don't actually have sex with people who pay for it. So by that definition, it's not. But by definition, it is sex work. Yes, it is sex work, Maureen.
It is sex work, yeah, exactly. So you can call it online prostitution. And I'll tell you something. I'm with the mother who wrote that email. That if my daughter had ever come to me and said, ma'am, this is what I'm thinking of doing, or even if she didn't, I found out, I would personally stand in front of her and I would rip her a new arse.
Would you?
From her head to the soles of her feet. Oh, yes. Because I didn't raise her to throw her self-dignity and self-respect out the window to earn money so she can flaunt herself while people are goggling at her. I find it truly and utterly disgusting.
It's very popular. It's hugely popular, Maureen. I don't know why.
I don't care what.
No. I'm just saying. I don't know how it's become so popular. I don't know how.
Yes, but this is the problem. Morals are gone out the window. Self-respect is gone out the window. Everything is acceptable today. And remember, we're living in a society where we have people in our countries, wherever we may be, who are just delighted to see this because women are fair game. They're too stupid to understand what they're actually doing.
Stay there for a second. You don't give women an awful lot of credit,
and they have, but okay. I'm not agreeing with it.
Okay, but hang on, Maureen. Dave, there you go. As far as Maureen is concerned, they're behaving like common prostitutes, essentially. Just selling their bodies online to make money.
Fair enough. I mean, look, if that's how Maureen feels about it, that's how Maureen feels about it. I'm not going to tell her she's wrong. Everybody's morals are their own. Sorry, I mean, attacked by a fucking wasp here. Yeah,
I hate wasps. I can deal with bees, but see wasps, they chase you. They follow you.
Bastards are out in fucking force today. But I don't know. I just the OnlyFans thing. I couldn't care less. Like, if you want to do it. Fine, fair enough. There are a lot of women out there though who have done it and said they regretted it in the end, because it is marketed as this kind of get rich quick scheme, when really you're talking only the top 1%, 2%, 3% really make any money out of it.
But that's what I said to Samaria. It's like every other talent, be it football, being it singing, whatever it is. Only a small percentage, doesn't matter how skilled you are, only a small percentage make it to the top.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I think, like, for a lot of young women, I think they think it's. I mean, look, for a girl who's in college thinking, "Hey, I'll do this while I'm in college. It'll pay
if she
my
gets
way."
500 quid, if she gets 500 quid a month or something for doing it, a few quid for drinking money,
pays my dues or whatever. Yeah. It takes the burden off my family financially. I don't really necessarily see it as being the wrong thing. I've seen there's women they started on OnlyFans and they just use that as a stepping stone to launch themselves into a different kind of a career. Do you know what I mean?
What kind of career would you be going into from OnlyFans? Modeling?
No, there are a lot of women that can manage to break into the fashion and the makeup industry and all that influencer side of things. Do you know?
But you have to take your clothes off to get into that side of things.
No, but it helps them build a brand. They start with the OnlyFans, they get the traction with the OnlyFans, then they use that to transition into, oh, look, I'm promoting this product, I'm promoting that product, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, well, let me just put that to Maureen. Maureen, Dave makes a good point. If you leave the morals aside, sex sells. I mean, Paris Hilton, the Kardashians, all became really famous because they had sex tapes. You know,
It does sell.
Yeah, but that's it.
I
It does
know
sell.
it does sell, but it sells, but it's dirty money at the end of the day.
Well, I
You're not
wouldn't,
doing
I wouldn't
anything
mind a bit of
worthwhile.
it.
You're not doing anything worthwhile, Karen, if you have some extra money. It's fine, so you could be in financial difficulty, but I tell you something. I would rather go out there and work 3 or 4 jobs at a time rather than do that and lose the self-respect I have for myself, my dignity and my morals and everything I was raised with, just to blend in and fit in with today's society. And this is what a lot of this is all about, whether it be this or anything else that we're seeing going on, even what's happening with our own children. People need to start taking stock of themselves and realising that this is not the road to be travelling on. And it has nothing to do with Catholicism or any other faith, if you like. There are plenty of people out here who believe in nothing, but they believe in self-respect for themselves. And that's what it is at the end of the day. Because if you don't respect yourself, you sure ain't respecting anybody else.
It's a fair point, Dave. You know what I mean? And that was one thing that was drilled into me as a child, because my parents were very conservative. They're very religious, as apart from anything else. And that's one thing they drilled into me: self-respect. Have some self-respect.
Look, I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue the morality of this, because I don't think anybody here who thinks about it in one way or the other is going to change anybody else's mind. My biggest issue with it really is when it comes to sex work and OnlyFans and stuff like that, is the amount of hypocrisy in it when it comes to men and women. Because, like, you have a woman who does OnlyFans, she's the whore of Babylon, right? Well, yeah, you had an Irish guy, he called himself the Irish Viking or some one of these stupid hipster-looking dudes. But he was on, like, daytime television here in Ireland, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, and you're doing OnlyFans, and aren't you?
Oh, you're great. Oh, aren't you great?
Fair play to you." Do you know, you had if a woman posed for Playboy, again, she was a whore, she had no morals. But yeah, like Hugh Hefner, like the greatest smut peddler of the 20th century, was an absolute legend.
Okay, well, do me a favour. Stay there, Dave and Maureen. Got to take a quick short break.
Let's Dance, the only weekly over 35s, 80s, 90s and noughties party, returns every Saturday to Dublin's top club Soho at 21 Delir Street. Doors open at 5:30, and in 2025, it's bigger and better than ever. Legendary DJs and MCs, dancers, performers, an electric atmosphere, and the best crowd in Dublin. Tickets and group packages for Let's Dance are available now. Search Soho Dublin on eventbrite.ie and we'll see you on the dance floor.
All right, welcome back. Now, let me stay there, Dave and Maureen, for a second. Let me go to Jessica. Jessica, hi, how are you?
How are you?
How you doing? Jessica, would you take her, this is not an invitation, by the way, this is just a question. Would you take her clothes out for money?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Because no, you could literally offer me €1 trillion. I'll tell you no.
You stop out of that. If I offered you €1 trillion, but let's all be honest with each other here. Somebody offered me $1 trillion, I'll take my clothes off.
No, I would tell you no.
I'm not being smart, but I find it hard to believe when somebody says to me, who was it once said, now I'm not referring just to him, and obviously I'm referring to people, but I'm just quoting him, something along the lines that every woman is a prostitute, it's only a matter of negotiating the price. Was it Oscar Wilde or somebody else said that? I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that it was part of a play. And it is with all of us. We're all prostitutes to a sense that if offered enough money, where human nature will make us do things we wouldn't ordinarily do. Like if somebody said to me, "Niall, will you run down Grafton Street in the nude?" I'm going to say absolutely not. But if they said to me, "Niall, I'll give you €1 billion if you run down Grafton Street in the nude," how many times do you want me to do it? Do you know what I mean? I'm taking the money, €1 billion. I'm not going to say no.
No, I'm 100% with the mother and Maureen. I think they're about right on this. If she wants extra money for college, why can you not just go down to the local shop or the local McDonald's, get a job there? Why do you automatically need to go take your clothes off because all your mates are doing it? Would you feck off?
I don't think all our mates are doing it, but some of our mates are doing it.
If some of your mates were jumping off bridges, would you do it? Like, that's the most BS reason I've ever heard in my life.
But our mates are clearly making our mates are clearly maybe not making a fortune, but our mates are clearly making enough pocket money out of it, to go out at night and have a good time, where she's not.
Yeah, because God forbid her mum and dad are like, no, we actually respect you more than that. We thought we instilled more value in you than that.
Dave, would you run down O'Connell Street in the nude for €1 billion?
You don't want to know how low that bar is for me, Niall. Trust me. You really fucking don't. 20 quid in a hand shandy, I'd probably do it. But you know, I'm just curious, right? So everybody's their knickers up in the twist over the morality of all this, right? What about like when you have like famous people or footballers, whatever, where they do like those mostly nude calendars? You know, or when you had like the Calvin Klein ads where we'll just say Ryan Reynolds for just to pick somebody who's like modeling men's underwear and stuff like that. Or when we used to have the Diet Coke ads where there's a builder and there's women looking at the windows salivating over them. Like, how is I obviously I understand OnlyFans is more in the sex work line and things, and it's a bit more graphic. But how is one is applauded and yet the other one is seedy, when they're both more or less doing the same thing? You're young, you're attractive, and you want to, use your assets while you're young and attractive to make a few pounds. Like, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. You can have your morals all you fucking want, but your morals aren't going to pay your bills at the end of the day, are they?
Fair point, Jessica. Why? There is a double standard, isn't there?
Like, when men do it, it's okay.
Why is she? No, Dave. No, if it was a son saying that he wanted to do it, I'd still be saying, no, it's wrong.
No, so that's fair enough. I just mean on a societal level. Like, it seems to be more acceptable when men do stuff like this, but when women try to dip their toe in it,
slag, yeah,
they're all whores.
Yeah.
I know. Well, obviously that's wrong. But like, she's going to college. Did she say what course she's doing in college?
Doesn't say, no.
Right, but she's going to college anyway. So you want to get yourself, a decent job. You want a decent career for yourself. And you want to chance that of secking it all up because you want to go in the nude or do a few underwear pics and sell them for 20 quid a pop. Would you go way out with that? Why would you throw away a decent life? Why would you throw away a decent life, a decent career, just because you think you might get a few quid on OnlyFans? If you want, like I said, if you want extra money, go work at the local shop or a local takeaway or something. Like,
by the way, can I just point out my underwear? My underwear is for sale. If anybody wants to buy it, I'll happily sell it.
That's just dirty.
I'm just saying, Jessica.
Hell?
Samaria said she's selling her underwear, and I don't know what she's selling for.
You're worse. But you're worse than the person who's asking for it.
Yeah, Niall, I think like a pair of like lace women's underwear are a bit more attractive than your crusty jocks. No offense.
Maureen, do you understand or have any knowledge or understanding as to why people would want pictures of Samaria's feet or buy her, her old underwear or whatever it is? Is that all part of what we live in, this kind of perverted world?
Because they're sad.
Yeah, because that's you're going down the line of, like, people have these weird fetishes. That's where all that fits in. It's like the children when they were going around dressed as animals. That's called furries. That's another fetish.
Oh, the furry. I seen somebody at a train station recently. I couldn't believe it.
I want to hear.
Yeah, I was at a train station and sitting waiting for a train was a mother and her daughter. And her daughter was dressed as a furry. And I'm looking at and had a lead on her and everything. And I'm looking at the mother going, are you serious? This daughter was about 14, 15 years of age, I'd say. Are you serious? I couldn't believe that the mother would allow the daughter to go out with her dress like that.
That's just kids. That's not furry.
Yeah, it is furry.
She had the doggy face thing on her, Dave.
No. Trust me, this stuff is in my wheelhouse. I know a lot about this kind of stuff, okay? The kids wearing the ears and the tails and the gloves, that's just kids playing dress up, okay? That's a fad. That'll be gone in another 4 or 5 years. The same with headbands when I was younger, or young ones wearing chokers. That's here today, gone tomorrow. Furries are the ones who wear the full body animal costumes and have an animal persona. That's a whole subculture in and of itself. People are getting their knickers in a twist over kids wearing like gloves with claws and furry ears, and they're like, oh no, they think they're animals. They don't. It's kids playing dress up. The same way, Niall, you probably had your rhinestone jacket back in the day, or your AC/DC leather cut off. That's all that is now.
AC/DC, actually,
Furries are completely different. Furries are the fucking weirdos who have an entire persona built around a full body animal costume.
And they actually identify as a dog or a cat or whatever.
Hold on a second. I have one here in downtown where I live, and I saw her the other day. She wears the tail, she wears the ears, and the whole kit and caboodle. The furry. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I want to address something you said.
Maureen, I'm sorry.
No, you had your say. I want to answer you.
No. Let Maureen just finish. No, let Maureen finish.
I want to answer you. You had your say. I'm having mine now. This has all stemmed from our children and grandchildren and young children being told that they can be anything they want. They can sit in the classroom and they can meow like a cat and bark like a dog. Just hold on a second. This is where all this goes. Are you too stupid to actually realize this?
No,
they
Maureen.
They don't have to dress up. Just pipe down 1 second. They don't have to dress up in a full furry costume because it's the same thing. And then when they start it slowly, they can go the full way. Do you not understand how all this works?
Maureen,
just open your...
Okay, let him answer you now, Maureen. Let him answer you.
No, hold on a second, Maureen, right? Unlike you, I'm not one of these people who get their information about young people from the internet and social media, okay? I have young children. I actually know more about this stuff than you do because I
have young grandchildren and I rear children, so I think I know a bit more than you.
A lot of this stuff comes from kids who watch cartoons, they watch anime and stuff, and they are fashion accessories. If you genuinely think a kid who wears some furry ears and a fluffy pair of gloves is going to...
This girl had a full mask on her.
Dog costume.
I know, Dave, this girl had like a dog's face.
Okay.
She had a dog's face. She had the dog's nose and the dog's mouth and, the mask thing. She had all that on her as well. Dave, if that was my child, I wouldn't be letting them dress up going out in public like that. Sorry, Jessica.
The problem is...
No. I don't want to get hung up on the whole furry thing. It's gone off the topic. Jessica...
Yeah, I know, but it's all...
Yeah, it's all relevant, I suppose, to some degree. Jessica, in relation, just going back to you, Jessica, before I come to John, in relation to the email, what do you think the parent should do? The father said he's going to disown her.
You know what? I wouldn't disagree with her. I wouldn't. I don't care how heartless that sounds. I'd say, right, well, if you want to throw away your life, a decent chance of a good career, because you won't think you're going to get quick with a few sleazy pictures or whatever, some sleazy videos, that's on you. But don't come running back to mommy and daddy when it all goes, pardon the pun, tits up in your face.
Oh, there you go.
Because we're not going to be here to comfort you because you decided to do that. You decided to ruin your life. It's all up to you.
Hang on, let me just see if John will run down the street in the nude. John, hi, how are you?
I'm tempted to say woof woof.
John, Jessica said even $1 billion or whatever euro, she wouldn't do it. If I said to you, will you run down Patrick Street in the nip and I give you €1 billion? Are you going?
Well, if you don't mind me saying that's ridiculous that you mean to be bringing that into it.
No, it's a test of morals, isn't it? It's a kind of test of morals.
Yeah, what is it? It's the very fact like you had that girl on there that's selling her underwear. Like you have
people who sell their underwear or trollops. Okay.
No, that's all. It's only a trollop would do that. Even a whore wouldn't do that.
But if somebody wanted to buy Dave shorts, and I'm sure Dave would happily sell them to him if he thought he could get a good price for them.
The thing is, this kind of stuff, like, it starts off, like, a lot of these guys that are subscribing to these sites, right, are fathers themselves, there, right, and their grandfathers, some of them, right, but if they went on and they saw their own granddaughter there, right, or their teenage daughter, right, they would be absolutely meltdown over it, but there's going to be ogling someone else's daughter or granddaughter, right, it's pervy, and if you get a lot of attention, it definitely tempts the girl then to go that bit further. Someone is making contact, they're offering money and everything, or quite a lot of money, because a lot of people out there have a lot of money, and they would pay for the very young girl to have sex with her. Like, it's basically a sanitized version of prostitution.
100%.
Dave, would you consider it to be prostitution? The only difference is you don't have physical contact, but a lot of people in OnlyFans are now not just singular women. It's singular women having sex with other women or with other men on the camera for money because they get paid. And then people will request privately that they do certain things for extra money. Yeah. So it's not that much different to prostitution apart from the fact you're not physically in a bed with them.
No, I definitely would consider it in the realm of sex work. Prostitution, no. Prostitution is more... There has to be the physical act between two people, so I wouldn't necessarily consider a prostitution.
No, not necessarily, Dave.
I'm looking up the definition of prostitution, but go on.
But actually, look it up there for the crack. I'm open to being wrong. I would consider more X-rated content creators. They're just like a YouTuber, only a wee bit more spicy.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, hang on. Okay, the
actual
actual Oxford English definition of the word prostitution: a person, in particular, a woman. That's surprising that they actually still say that. I'm sure that's got the feminists wouldn't like
Really?
that. Yeah, a person, in particular, a woman who engages in sexual activity for payment. But that covers that, then, Dave, because sexual activity.
I guess it's a form of. I hold my hand up and I will admit that I'm wrong. I guess it is a form of prostitution.
By definition.
No, I'll prostitute myself. I mean, Dave, is I will I coming on here putting myself out there on the roundabout? Will I prostitute myself?
Well, in different ways. Yeah, I prostitute myself. Yeah. I'm prostituting my mind and my voice every night to get paid. It's just a matter of where your morals stand and what sort of prostitution you're doing.
But I mean, I don't see like these girls are doing the like this so-called femininity mob who are fighting and never seems to be satisfied. These are not helping women's liberation, women's causes in any way. I always said that the worst people to leave women down are women themselves.
But not Jessica, obviously, because she's not one of those type.
No.
But mind you, can I honestly say, and and I trust Jessica. I've listened to her many years on the show.
But she's a liar. That's what you're going to say.
But I don't believe if I offered her €1 billion, she wouldn't run down the street in the nude. I think Kara would drag her down the street in the nude if I offered them €1 billion.
No, I just value myself a bit more than that. God forbid.
Well, how much then? How much do you value yourself at? 2 billion, 3 billion? I mean, where you say you value yourself a bit more than that?
The price is nothing because I have my self-respect and my dignity is a bit more important than any figure.
Yeah, but Dave has self-respect, but his bar is set quite low at the moment.
I'll do it for a gaming PC.
For a gaming PC. I think I have a spare one, Dave.
That's me.
He said he'd do it for a gaming PC.
That's going to be a long winter. I need something to entertain myself with.
No,
you can only interfere with yourself so many times.
No, I don't think that anyone is ever going to offer you, me, or Dave, because I don't know what Dave looks like. I mean, when it's sound of his voice,
I've seen.
But I would sort of to say that maybe between the three of us, I don't think we'd make up one decent Brad Pitt.
No, I don't think so. No. But
if you're wondering what I look like, John, think Gimli from Lord of the Rings, only a bit younger.
But John, I mean, in theory, we're all pretending to have good morals, and we all pretend to have good morals, and we do. And a lot of us, and I know you've good morals, John, and Dave. I know you have. You've got kids, and you've got good morals, and I'm sure Jessica
we
has.
do the best we can.
Yeah, but still, offered enough money, I think people will do things. Or desperate for money sometimes. People do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do.
Yeah, well,
you don't really believe in your morals.
Somebody mentioned a while ago about about the male. What about the male guys that prostitute themselves and all these sites are selling underwear or whatever the whole lot. But the thing is, I think people expect more from women. And they just get
why is the bar set higher for women? Why does the bar have to be set higher?
It just is because they're like Jessica, has her life there, she has respect for herself, and I think women need to keep themselves above this kind of stuff, to be totally respected, because, they are special. Women are special, we all think all women are special, and they are special, and to keep them special, they need to keep away from this shit.
Jessica, so is the bar set higher for women, Jessica, than it is for men? Is that a bit unfair? There's a double standard, isn't it?
Which, sorry?
Is the bar kind of set higher for women than it is for men? Well, when it comes to morals.
Well, no, I'd like to think we all have. I'd like to think that we all hold ourselves up to higher standards, but clearly we don't, because some men and women decide, oh, I want money, but I don't want to, earn it a decent way. I want to go in the nip and earn it. So,
like if you said to most young fellas at 23 years of age, will you star in a porn movie, but you don't get paid? They go, okay. But women wouldn't. Women cost a lot more in the porn industry to hire than men. Because men they just have a different, depending on their age. As they get older, they start to develop morals. But depending on their age. But you heard Dave there. He'll take his clothes off for a gaming PC. He's younger than me. I would want a bit more than a gaming PC. Well, let me go to Angela. Angela, hi. How are you doing?
I'm good. Do you know what? I'm kind of laughing at this because nobody seems to be mentioning that there are actually men on OnlyFans
Very
as
few.
well.
Very few.
There's actually not. the gay community is massive with men on OnlyFans. You know, listen, if that's what she wants to do, that's what she wants to do. But I can tell you, if it comes down to the money or my family, I'd be picking my family. I'd, you know, because that's basically what we're kind of talking about here as well. It's like if
but she needs the money, and her family don't have it.
Well, if she needs the money, in one way you have to admire her for talent then, because a lot of young people or a lot of anyone wouldn't tell their parents this.
Oh, but they're going to find. Yeah, but you'd have to tell your parents because the likelihood is they'll find out.
Oh, I know, but still, come here, I can guarantee you there's more that don't tell them than more that do.
Okay, so we're talking about morals then. We're looking at where the bar is morally for everybody. Would you do it if you had no money?
Yeah.
So you go on OnlyFans?
Well, the way I look at it is, if I've no money and somebody's going to pay to look at my pictures, God damn it, I'll sell them. Why not?
Yeah, Samara said she was selling pictures of her feet and also her underwear.
Yeah. Jesus, if someone wants a picture of I have beautiful feet. I don't have ugly feet. Do you know where the middle, the second toe is bigger than the big toe? Oh, Jesus, that wrecks my head. Or you bony feet. You see, I've dainty feet. My feet are a 2.5, right?
Yeah.
It's like small little feet. But, so you're kind of
2.5? That's a child size.
Yeah, I'm a 2.5.
So I'm assuming you have to buy children's shoes.
Yes, it's great.
How do you not fall over?
I don't wear heels.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't wear stilettos. Like, let me.
Do they even make stilettos? From my days working as a manager of a shoe shop, which was one of my first jobs.
They do.
3 was the smallest we used to get, as from what I remember.
Yeah, 2. They do now.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of the time now they'll actually start, you know, it at size 2. Jeez, I can't believe we're talking about this. Size 2 as an adult foot now.
Right, okay.
So, anyway, but when you're looking at it, you go, okay, so to stop me being homeless, stop me being cold, and stop me being hungry, someone's going to buy pictures of me on my feet, naked. Would you rather see me out on the street?
Yeah, no, I know.
That's the way you have to look at it. This girl is in college as well, and her parents.
Yeah.
And her parents can't. Her parents can't afford to help her. Even getting a job. I know everyone's saying, "Oh, just go out and get a job in a shop." A job in a shop will not pay your fees, and plus, there's not that many jobs in shops where you can just go, "Oh, I want to work from 8 to 10 in the evening or 6 to 10 in the evening," because you have to study as well.
Would you run down the main street in Clare in the nude for 100,000?
Damn feckin' right, I would.
Oh, see, I by the way, I dropped the price. Have you noticed that? When I asked Jessica, it was a billion.
You started at $1 trillion. You got $1 billion.
I'm now down to 100,000 because I know it's Angela.
I do it for 50 grand. No, actually, would I? Yeah, I do it for 50 grand.
Right.
So why not? Sure, hold on a second.
But you'll be forever remembered as your one that ran down the street in the nude. Look at the clip of her.
Okay, Lane.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, I give that. The thing is, Niall, when I go swimming in the lake, I go swimming every afternoon in the lake, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll go in my bikini. I don't care.
That's different. You're wearing a bikini. That's fine. It's summertime. People wear bikinis.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. You've seen the size of me. You know, so what? Just because I take
yeah,
off
but you've
my
reduced your size somewhat since the last time I probably saw you.
I have reduced my size, but it doesn't matter. I still have a belly on me. I don't care.
Well, hang on, stay there for a second. Let me go to Gladys. Gladys, hi.
Hi, Niall. How are you doing?
You see, this whole topic depends on morally where we sit, doesn't it? Really, and the parents obviously are conservative. And maybe don't have to.
Yeah. Let's get to the real crux of it. It's about money. It's about profit.
Yeah.
And guess who's making the most? OnlyFans.
Oh, the founder of OnlyFans, who's a woman, by the way.
Yeah. So they're taking their 20%, poor saps out there, God love them, sort of. And if they're not making big bucks, let's face it, some of them, it is a whole dependent on who's going to view.
No, hang on for a second. No, let me just correct something. So the CEOs of OnlyFans, one of the biggest companies now in the world, are taking their cut, as you say, from these girls and guys who are performing. But they're offering them a platform. They're marketing a platform. They're paying for the platform. They've done all the marketing to make it as famous as it is. So they're entitled to their 20% cut, if that's what it is.
I didn't say. Listen, it's a business, right?
Yeah.
I didn't say they should be a charity and say, let's say, do your thing there, and
so we all work for a cut. The tax man gets a cut. He gets a 40% cut.
But the idea that you can make serious money is serious content. So, I mean, the things now have become more extreme, and what the content is, So I think there's a bit of a myth that some of the young ones, show them me boobs and you'll make a fortune. I don't think so. I think you have to do what that absolute mentally ill girl has done, God love her. Expose yourself and have sex with 1,000 men or something.
Oh, that Bonnie Blue one, yeah. There's very few people and women on OnlyFans who are doing what she's doing. And you're right. Yeah. I think she needs to see somebody and talk to somebody, a therapist or something. The very idea that you would want to have sex with 1,000 men in one day is just, it's beyond all. Yeah, she always has very little self-respect for herself, or has lost all self-respect. And I don't think that's the case with people who are, generally speaking, women and men who are OnlyFans. I think some of them still have some shred of self-respect.
Why is it, as a commodity, that women are, again, their bodies are a commodity?
Well, no. But I'm not making
that young could think of.
Yeah, but I'm not making Bonnie Blue's body a commodity. I certainly wouldn't watch any of her videos. I wouldn't be interested. But I'm not making her. She's making herself. She's making herself a commodity.
Interest.
Sorry, Angela.
Men are spending the money on whatever, and then looking for private, whatever the case may be. So it's more extreme. And if you're making, say just for example, that somebody is making a few bob, sort of things, so they don't have to pack, something in.
But don't blame men. Don't blame men for this. I've heard this argument before that it's misogynistic.
No, the girls doing it. They're earning X amount, right, that they wouldn't earn in a supermarket, right? So it seems like an easy thing. You just whip off whatever. But then it becomes, when if I do X amount, well, then I can make more. A little bit more. Yeah. And more content and more viewers.
The more extreme or the more unique.
They never want to take the job in the shoe shop, or there's nothing wrong with any of those jobs, I might add. But I don't know what it would do to a young girl's self-esteem, sense of mental well-being. So this is not empowerment of women.
But hang on, sorry, Angela, you wanted to say something there just in relation to Bonnie Blue. Go.
Yeah, I'd say I can be very honest in admitting it is the one story I have not looked at, I have not researched, I have not Googled, nothing. I've no interest in it.
There's a documentary on Netflix or Channel 4 or something. I haven't watched it now, but I believe there's a documentary.
Yeah, I haven't because I think with that advantage, I genuinely think there is something wrong with someone who wants to make money.
And by the way, I do believe it's despicable of whoever, Netflix or wherever it is, or Channel 4, I'm not too sure who did the documentary. I think it's despicable of them doing a documentary. I think they're exploiting the girl now at this stage.
Yeah, they're absolutely. And that's why I'm saying that to me, that's sick. That's sick in the head to do that to someone. And I think she has very deep problems that she needs to get sorted out. Going on to OnlyFans is different, but wanting to do.
But Gladys makes a good point. To make money on OnlyFans, there's a lot of good-looking girls on OnlyFans. Some of them are making very little money, and some are making a lot of money. But the difference is the ones that are making lots of money are probably going to more extremes of titillation, for their male audience, possibly, or wherever female audience. They have a female audience, so if they're lesbians or whatever. So they're going to more extremes. So the more extremes you go to, the more things that are unique that you do, the more money you make.
Yeah, no, and I would think it would be quite addictive. It would be quite addictive if you. So somebody asked, I had a look to see what way this thing works. And so, private content. So some creep wants to see you privately, but he wants you to do X amount of something or other.
Yep.
And there's another 100 quid.
Yep.
Or you name it. It has to be quite addictive to do that. I would say, well, I could go out the weekend. I'm just talking about young ones, the way their mind might work. Well, I could buy that handbag or shoe or whatever. Job shit
Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah.
But nobody kind of thinks that, well, I'm wondering about the safety risks for young girls, how safe this is in the world that we live in nowadays, and with the weird fantasies and the weird shit that people want to see. You know, I mean, and the girls being addicted to the money and are willing to do absolutely.
Well, see, here's the problem. Let's say she does make money. She's one of the lucky ones who makes a lot of money out of it. The hard part is then you turn around to her when she's 23 and she's finished college and I don't know what she's studying. Just let's say she's getting a law degree to become a solicitor. And you say, okay, as a solicitor, you might make, in your first 3 or 4 years, you'll make, 70 grand a year at most. But you can make 170,000 on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So Angela, the problem is the money becomes addictive. And the more you do it, the more money you make, the more you want to try, the harder you'll try to make money by doing the more unusual and acrobatic things.
And where that girl, I'd say that girl who is, to me needs help. But I'd say she didn't start out having sex with 100 men or 1,000 men.
No, she did it to get noticed.
Very mildly.
Mm-hmm.
A nice looking young one. She set out showing her boobs or whatever, and it escalated into this absolutely detached from her, completely from her own body.
Well, her problem now,
humanity.
and I want to say this as well to Angela in relation to, and I think you're all right. I think she obviously needs a therapist or something. But her problem now, Angela, is she could never, ever go back to just being an OnlyFans girl that's taking off her clothes. Because men now, and women, or whoever's supplying her with money, or whoever's subscribing to her, would expect more.
Yeah, it can, but then the thing again is, it's her choice. It's her choice.
I don't buy that.
But it is
I don't buy
choice.
this choice. This choice, no, this is, I don't believe that, I believe that this is a level of addiction. Addiction to money, addiction to attention, addiction to something else, but it is certainly not anyway empowering a woman or anyway, like morals and all. People do loads of different things. We'd all say, well, that's immoral, or taking something from a shop is thieving, or whatever the case may be. But this is something else. This is somebody that, as girls becomes attached.
The one thing that annoyed me there, and it's the most common saying, and I swear to God, it's the worst analysis ever, is because her friends are doing it. Would you
hop off a cliff because your friends are doing it? Yeah.
Because your friends are doing it. That's the most ridiculous analysis. What? They're jumping off a cliff. Are they jumping off a cliff to, as they say, unalive themselves? That wrecks my head now. To unalive themselves.
I can understand that. So friends are coming along and saying, listen, if you show your boobies to some poor old sap who's 120, sort of thing, like, and you get whatever X amount of money, and they're saying, sure, there's nothing to it. I can see that.
Well, let me ask you a question, Gladys. I suppose it's a good test question to see where all our morals are. But if you, at a younger age in your life, say you were 23 or 24 years of age.
I wouldn't do it now.
Well, maybe you do it now. I don't know.
There's a demand for older.
There's a demand. If somebody said to you, would you run down the main street of your town naked for €1 billion, would you?
I have a better analogy, right?
No, answer my question.
First of all, can't run, right?
Well, apart from that, would you let people see you naked for €1 billion?
Well, yes, there is weirdos out there, and sort of thing like that would probably pay to see that. I think what is empowering for women.
Not answering
Angela, see, Gladys, you're not answering.
Of course I would. I do it. Of course I would.
See, there we go.
I would do it for a laugh. You don't even have to pay me.
I'm telling you, I certainly wouldn't be doing it for a laugh. I'd be doing it for the money.
If I tell you what, if I did it, they'd be running behind me with buckets collecting money to put my clothes back on again. Let me just go to Sharon.
I know.
Sharon, hi, how are you?
Hello. How's it going?
How you doing, Sharon? Sharon, okay, back to the
Thanks.
back to the OnlyFans. If you were the parent of a daughter who wanted to do this, what would you say to her?
I'd say, well, number one, you're too young. Girls don't mature until they're at least 25. At least 25.
Mhm.
You know? And, like, she could regret it later on. She could also, I'd be afraid that, you know, I don't trust online and things could come out. Her details could come out.
Oh,
Say
it will.
Some guy found her.
Mhm.
Say some guy found her and, you know,
Tracked her
it's
down.
a scary world now, putting yourself out there, you know?
Yeah,
And
particularly in that
anyway,
manner.
I think, to be honest with you, I wouldn't judge anybody. If someone said to me they were doing it tomorrow, I'd say, okay, grand. I wouldn't think any less of them, but I do find it very distasteful. I have to be honest.
Are we all behaving like moral guardians here, Sharon? That we're all saying this is morally wrong. There's no law says you have to have certain morals. By the way, everybody has different morals. You know, we have to obey the law.
I know.
But are we all
Look,
behaving?
I
Like, are we
it
all a bit?
wouldn't-
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Maybe you're right. Yeah, if somebody was really struggling and they felt there was nothing else they could do, sure. I mean, the prostitution was the oldest profession in the world, and people had no money. But it would break my heart if my daughter wanted to do that. It really would break my heart.
But
How does
but
the
if she
mother
is,
know? I'm amazed she told the mother, though. Maybe she's looking for validation.
no,
How
she
come
told
she even told
no,
her mother?
She told her mother because with OnlyFans, it's so popular that somebody's bound to find out and tell her mother. So she probably said, "I better off doing it before somebody else does it," and tells her.
Yeah. Well, at least she had the decency to tell her mother.
But still,
But I don't think I'd talk to my daughter if she did it.
Would you not?
No. And I do you know what? I think I could forgive anything, but that would just break my heart.
It would.
I don't know.
It would
Niall.
be. It
It's
would be
just-
upsetting, but I don't know about
The body
disowning
is-
them. You know.
The body to me is something for. It's special. It's to share with someone you love. I just see it that way. You know.
Yeah, Gladys, I understand the point that Sharon makes. It's kind of very similar view a lot of people would have. The body is between two people who love each other, that intimate moment, yada, 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 and not to be shared online publicly for everybody else to have a look at and pay a few quid for.
Like say she gets married in a few
She
years.
made a valid point. I mean, that it's the oldest game in town. But it has always been that women in desperate situations have had to force themselves to do things, you know, maybe to feed their children or whatever, and there was literally nothing, or a drug habit, which seems to be, you know, a lot, or trafficked to do this, which is a big business now, which is unbelievably horrendous for poor women that are trafficked into the sex industry. But it's about profit, it's about somebody making money. There's no sense of, you know, that your body, your internal soul, and who you, and it's not a moral thing. It's like, and it's not for just one person to see. You know, it isn't that. It's about who you are inside of yourself. And I think what's missing as well is that women feel completely different about their bodies than men do. You know, they have a different.
I don't know how necessarily true that is, but women certainly express it more than men. In other words, I do believe that men are also conscious of their bodies.
For women than it is for men.
Yeah, but it's just different.
Intimacy.
Yeah.
It is. You have to be detached from your body, physically detached from your body to do certain things with a total male stranger, you know, for money. You have to be either dosed up with something or detached from your body.
I don't always believe that people are dosed up. I know look, the industry, the porn industry and the sex industry is littered with drugs. I'm well aware of that. But so mind you, so is the entertainment industry. So, but I don't always believe that people, because somebody mentioned earlier on that we're all prostitutes to some degree. Depends on your morals and how you think about things. You know, you're prostituting yourself right now. Sharon, Gladys, Angela, you're all prostituting yourself. Now, the difference is you're not getting paid for it.
Excuse me, Niall. I only ever did prostitution for a Hoover.
But you understand what I'm saying? We all prostitute ourselves. We go into a job every day, and a boss pays us for the skill that we're good at. Okay, it may not be taking your clothes off. It may be, you know, using a shovel. It may be building. It may be engineering.
And you can't compare work to you can't compare us chatting on the air
But
to that.
But the point I'm making is those people are just doing a job. To them, it's just a job. Just like to me, at this moment in time, this is just a job. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing it. You know, and you know, you're coming on the air to share your opinion. So you're kind of prostituting your mind. Gladys, you're prostituting your mind.
I'm waiting for the check.
Now. Well, okay, it's in the post. It's in the post.
I didn't know I was a prostitute.
do you want to know by definition of the word prostituting ourselves? Sorry. Yeah, so you sort of said something there.
Which one?
Oh, was it you? Was it you, Angela, said something else there? Sorry.
Yeah, I said, hold on, I'm still waiting for the check. If we're
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Sharon, Gladys, and Angela, check is on the way.
Doing it for nothing.
It's on the way.
Doing it for Hoover.
But you understand the point I'm making, Sharon, that we all do things. I mean, we'd much prefer to sit at home and our boss just pay us rather than get out and do the actual job. Do you understand me? So we're all doing things sometimes.
Can I ask you a question, Niall? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What if men stopped using women? What would happen then?
Stop blaming men. That's like blaming the drug addict for the drug dealer.
No. Let's face it. It's men that use.
Women use it too. But go on.
Actually,
well, yeah,
that's a very good point.
The gay community as well, right? But it's just
that's a very good point.
Example. I'm not just saying, you know, that this is not hating on men. I'm just saying, just for one day, all men stopped using this platform.
Sharon, you agree with that, yeah?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you something now. The thing is, how is a relationship between the man and the woman going to be okay if the man is constantly looking for more stuff, more titillation, more turn on than his partner can give him? What's going to happen then if he's relying on this?
Well, that's certainly a problem if a man is relying on that for his sexual entertainment on a regular basis and he's not getting it at home. That's a problem in the relationship that they need to talk about between both parties. But in relation to this argument sometimes, and I've seen it, that the people on OnlyFans blame men, even though they're making money from men. That's like a drug dealer blaming the addict. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No. What if though, Niall? Let's face it, men are, and it's well known, much more interested. Not saying that women aren't, but much more interested in sex.
I think
with loads of different people.
Well, that's biological because men have more testosterone.
They're more interested than women are, right? So they're a bit more, you know, from the top shelf magazines, you know, sort of thing in the day that you couldn't even reach them.
Yeah.
It was men buying them, right? You know, sort of thing like, or the page 3 set of boobies or whatever. It wasn't women, you know, sort of putting the clatter litter on the page 3 boobs, you know.
But no, but it always, you are right. Men are more interested in sex, generally speaking, than women, although that doesn't always be the case. But because it's biological, because men have to.
I don't need to know that.
Sorry, Sharon, what did you say?
Oh, gosh, no. There's a chat between me and my friend. I'm sorry now.
Oh, okay. Does she wants to take her clothes out for money?
I forgot I was on the radio.
Oh, it's okay. Anyway, listen, Sharon and Gladys and Angela, I have to wrap it up. I've run out of time. I do apologise. I've run out of time. Thank you very much indeed for coming on. I do really appreciate it. Check is in the post. Some of the comments coming in. Working on OnlyFans while in university can be easier than a traditional part-time job because it offers complete schedule flexibility, allowing you to work around lectures and deadline without fixed shifts. It can provide higher earnings per hour with no commute or uniform cost. And you control both your workload and your time off without needing a manager. It also builds valuable skills in marketing, branding and self-management while giving you the ability to earn from home access payouts more quickly than most hourly wage jobs, says Orla on WhatsApp. Orla, you seem to know an awful lot about it. Are you involved yourself? One wonders. Anyway, let me just play some of the WhatsApp messages that come in to do the voice mails on this. Hold on.
Niall, I'm only tuning in. I'm not too sure what you're really talking about, but my opinion on the Irish language is I think it's a waste of time. I don't even know whether the subject's about this. I know you're finishing soon. I'm only coming on. My opinion, the Irish language is a waste of time, and they're even advertising Irish on buses. Wherever they're advertising, I have the clue what they're advertising, but I just think it's a waste of time. You just said it there yourself, regards to teachers. You have to have a certain knowledge in Irish before you become a teacher.
About the easy money these days, Niall, when it comes to OnlyFans and that. If I had a daughter, it wouldn't be a hope in hell she'd be on it. Try help her out whatever way possible to avoid that. And unfortunately, there is a lot of perverts out there that will pay young women to do that, like take their clothes off and all that fucking carry on. I don't know. Anyway, standards of society have definitely dropped since that OnlyFans joke came out.
Standards have dropped since COVID came out. Oh, yeah, maybe. Anyway, listen, thank you for all your comments, Neil and Greg and everybody else and everybody who sent in comments in relation to the Irish language. Huey says, I think the Irish should be an optional in secondary schools. Albert says Irish language is like Marmite. You either love it or hate it, but you can't force it on anybody. Loads of people, by the way, texting in about the porn industry and about OnlyFans as well. Somebody says, Niall, I subscribe to Samara. Do you? I'm sure she's delighted to know that she subscribed to her. Anyway, I don't know what you wanted me to do with that comment. Mother is 100% right, says Cantona. This will always be out there. Once it goes online, she may well go on to have kids one day herself and regret choices she makes now. Good parents protect their children from making mistakes. That's not controlling, it's responsible parenting. All right, listen, loads and loads of stuff, by the way, coming in there. Thank you to everybody who got involved in the show. Thank you to all my guests as well on the show today, including Samaria and Carl Dieter and everybody else earlier on too, and all the other callers on the other topic. I really do appreciate it. Without you, we have no show. But without us, you don't have a show and you don't have a platform to have your opinions on whatever happens to be in the news or the social dilemma that we might talk about on a daily basis. So please do support us. We have no other way of making money. We have one ad, as you see. That certainly doesn't pay the bills. And we have some subscribers on our website, which certainly helps. But every month, we're short. We need to pay the bills to continue doing this every single day. So please do support us. Go to our website, niallboylan.com. One subscription. We share it here between two of us on the show. And that's all. Two of us work hard. We have our own full-time jobs, obviously, to deal with on a daily or nightly basis. So, we have to do that to support our income. But you could help us to pay the bills, and we'd really appreciate it if you either subscribe or donate on the website, niallboylan.com. Until then, have a great day, and we shall be back again with you tomorrow at the same time as usual.
The multi-award-winning Niall Boylan Podcast. Listen live on Facebook, YouTube, and all the usual live stream services. To get in touch, just WhatsApp or text 085 100 2255. The Niall Boylan Podcast. They told me to shut up. Available for download from all your usual platforms.